Hey, good afternoon. My name is Ben Victorica and I work for Notable Solutions, and today I'm recording a technical video on how to use the NSI mobile app to capture signatures if the customer already has a lot of the information filled out and it's really more like a work order. So in the example that I'm going to do here is, what if a hospital needs to get a doctor to sign a document? They could email it to them. The doctor could review the information, and just by using the NSI mobile app, they can sign the document in a HIPAA compliant way. So I started building the config here, starting with web capture. I've added the forms overlay component so we can capture the information and burn it onto the PDF. Then we're going to OCR the document. Maybe the customer wants to OCR it, make it text searchable, and route it to a folder. If I double click on web capture here, we can see that we have a form that I've started called signed document. The field, I've only put in signature, and let's add an additional field here for geolocation. So I'll type in geolocation. We're going to keep this as a text type. We're going to use the magic wand. This gives you the ability to have different types of extended field properties. This one is going to be location, and in this case what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the location to be the GPS coordinates that they can't change. With this one, you could change where you're standing by viewing a map, and with this one you could view where you're standing and the output would be coordinates. The output in this one would be address. Let's just select this middle one. That's where you can't change the location. Now I'm going to select OK. We've got all the fields that we want to capture. We're going to go to components here and forms overlay. With this component you activate it, and using these RRTs I've now mapped in from web capture the file path. This file path here I've put into the template path. That's going to be the incoming PDF. I assigned it a working directory so it can do some work, and then the temporary file is also going to be this RRT for the incoming file path. Now we have some fields. So the first field I want to show you is signature. We added the field. In this case I'm going to edit it by activating it, calling it something, and then the field type here for image, I basically just used the left click of the mouse and I drug this field over and I dropped it here. We're not interested in any fonts because this is an image, but the position, I select custom position, and then I'm able to map to a temporary copy of the image so I can see where I'm going to put information. Think of this as reverse zonal OCR. Wherever I put the box, that's where the information from the runtime replacement tag is going to write itself to the document. So here I have the signature box, and the aspect needs to be similar to what's on the iPad. Let's look at the next one. So the next one is user, and I'm able to capture the user information from the system runtime replacement tags. I activated the component for this field. I called the field user. It's a text value, so we mapped in from web capture the username and the user IP. I selected a font type to be Times New Roman 14 point font and a transparent background. And then for position, I selected custom position and I put it to what it was going to be over the signature. What's important here to note is that you can line everything up perfectly. The top left hand corner of the box is going to be these coordinates: 103 over, 200 down. So if you want to line up all of your values, you start with that 103 value and you just keep going down the incremental point size of your font. So now I'm going to apply this one, hit OK. We'll do time and date. I'm using the system RRTs for this. We activated it, we called it something. The field is also a text value. I just dragged over this time and date into this area. I made the font also 14, and the position again is 103, so 103 over. and 195 down. I'm actually putting this one over the other value. So let's add one more field so you get an idea of how to do this. Let's add the geolocation. So we're going to activate it. We're going to call it geolocation. The field is going to be text, and it's going to come from web capture. And I'm just going to drag over the geolocation field into the text box that's going to be written onto the first page. This is very important to put the page number, even though it's only on the page 1. This does work with multiple page PDFs, but you always have to put the page number of where you want to write the field. The font here is going to be 14 and transparent, so it's all the same. And the position is going to be a custom position, and in this case, let's put it here below the signature line. So I just left click, drag a box. I can adjust the size a little bit so it's positioned properly, and now I select OK and apply. I'm just going to make sure that the 1 carried there, and we're good to go. So now let's go and see that the rest of the components. I'm sure you're very familiar with Abby, so we're going to activate it and OCR the document, and I'm going to route the file to a folder. So in this case, I'm going to hit OK and OK, and I'm going to save and restart the service. And I'm going to minimize this screen here, and I'm going to show you my iPad. Okay, so now I'm showing you my iPad, and I'm reviewing this via an email that I have, and I can see all the information on the document, and I can see that they want me to sign. So I'm going to push down with my finger on the document on my iPad and select Open with NSI Mobile. And I'm going to attach this to an activity. And the activity is going to be the form we had created earlier. I'm going to sign the document. So I'm going to select the signature box, and I'm going to sign. And hit accept and submit the file. So now that file has been submitted. The document is being stamped. The document is being OCR'd, and it's going to be sent to the folder that we have right here. So in just a matter of seconds, that document's going to come in. It's going to come in first as the original one and the document where we did all of the overlays. Now let me just double click here and show you that we have the time and date. We have the user and the IP address of the device that they were on. We have their signature, and we have the geolocation. So thank you very much for watching this video. You should see the config attached to the video so that you can also replicate this in your own environment. Thank you very much.